Holocron takes place in the Jinkuru freighter, the spaceship owned and piloted by Bando and San Jinkuru. The question that faced us was, how do you build a full-size cockpit set in under a week and for less than $300? We turned to our amazing friend Andy Cheatham, a former Olympic pistol shooter, carpenter, and children's hospital nurse. We don't call him Amazing Andy for nothing, to help. Andy suggests we look at scenes from The Empire Strikes Back for inspiration, and in the mystical way that only he can, Andy saw immediately how to build something that would feel similar, look awesome, remain easy to use, and be ridiculously inexpensive. We couldn't get into the soundstage until the weekend of the shoot, and so Andy and his wife Kitty donated their soon-to-be-remodeled living room as the workspace to keep us out of the cold December air. We grabbed 2 old seats out of, hilariously, a StarCraft conversion van at the local junkyard, and Andy assembled them on an elevated, bomb-proof platform, even kept the seats adjustable. We spent the next 3 hours attaching things to the plywood. I shaped and cut the foam into designs and support structures, while Andy brilliantly constructed the door molding and attached random junk we found for next to nothing at a construction surplus store. Then came the big move. The soundstage was a 10-minute drive away, so we rented a large U-Haul, loaded the cockpit into the truck, and reassembled it at the soundstage. The crew and cast met us there, and by 2 p.m. every hand on deck was working on painting and lighting the set. We didn't have the resources to install LED lights, so we drilled holes through the foam and inserted Christmas lights from the back. Then we glued metal washers around the drill holes to give the impression of the lights actually emitting from some structure. We covered the StarCraft seats in 2 huge rolls of black duct tape to give us that original trilogy feel, and for the screens, art director Luke Clavey printed images on transparencies and placed them into the foam walls with a light shining through them. To make the foam look like metal, we laid down a base coat of orange and then spray painted it with black and silver spray paint. We couldn't open any doors for the majority of the spray painting, so we had to take turns running out into the hall and, breathing. At one point, we ran out of Christmas lights, so we drilled holes in the set and shined a light through them from behind. To give the blinking light effect, someone from the crew stood behind the cockpit during shots and covered random holes with their fingers. It sounds ridiculous, but you won't believe how good this actually looks. It turns out we built the control console way too small, so we ended up detaching it from the chair mount and cheating it much closer to the camera. The forced perspective makes it look like we built a large console in front of the actors, but we couldn't afford to build a real command console for the actors to interact with, so the actors had to pretend there were knobs and switches in front of them and reach off camera to give the impression of controlling the ship. The illusion is completed by the addition of sound effects, good lighting, and, good acting.
The hyperdrive shunt is shorted out!
Can you deactivate it?
Yeah, but if we go to light speed, the hyperdrive will burn itself up in 10 minutes!
Well, then get us 9 minutes and 59 seconds away from here!
So thanks to the amazing Andy, we built a cockpit set in under 1 week and for less than $250. Andy showed us that with some creativity, some foam, and some StarCraft conversion van seats, you really could make a cockpit set that felt like it was from Star Wars. And I know I, for one, will never look at a blinking light on set the same way again.